What are you doing, Ken? Well, I just wasn't quite happy with the orange peel. I couldn't do it. I took it outside and looked at it, and I thought, if I ever get to drive this car, I'm going to look down and I'm going to see this ugly orange peel on my column. I couldn't deal with it. So here I am, wet sanding it down with 1000 grit. Let's hope I don't cut through. Well, I started out with just 1000 grit, and it's coming right out. So it was kind of not a real big orange peel deal, but shouldn't take too long. At least with 1000 grit, the chances of sanding through are fairly slim if you're careful. But there's 2 heavy coats on there, so I'm just going to keep it going. Well, I definitely made myself some more work. This here is sanded with 1000 grit. 1000 grit. This was sanded with 2000 grit. Plus I just started the buffing process with that 3M there. And then I'll go with this. And I think I got one more that's finer than that. But I just started on it, and it's starting to come around. I got some little sand scratches or buffing scratches. I'm not sure what they are. But I just started, and it's trying to stay away from all the edges, of course. So at least when I get done, someday, I want to stare at that orange peel. And I'm only going to go down to where it goes under the dash. I'm not going to do that part. But it's coming along. It's going to take some time. The nice part is I can work at it a little bit each evening. It's not a whole Saturday project, so I can keep playing with it until I get it the way I want it. Well, it's Buick Saturday, and working on the steering column. And I learned a few things. You're always learning. You always think you know what you're doing, and then you don't. I started out on this. This had some orange peel in certain spots, and it was really bugging me. Of course, that's where you're going to be looking at when you're driving it. I mean, hopefully, through the windshield and where you're going, but when you get in the car, you're going to see the orange peel. It wasn't real bad. I think I started out with 1000 grit, and then I went to 2000 grit, and that's what this here is 2000. And then I tried to polish it a little bit with some 3M kind of aggressive polish, and it looked pretty good, but if you look close you could still see sand scratches, really tiny ones. So then I watched a few YouTube videos, and then I found out, and I knew they had it, but I'd never used it. They got 3000 grit. It's kind of on a foam pad, and that's what I've just done this area with. And then I found this 5000. It's basically a polishing cloth, and it's also got the foam backing. And this probably will make my life easier when I go to polish it, because it's going to take all the little scratches up. But this is just a foam pad, very, very fine abrasive, and you don't have to, you can just swirl it like in a circular motion, because you're actually at this point polishing it. And I think at this point, if you haven't rubbed through the clear all the way, if you were careful and you didn't break through the clear, I don't think you're going to break through it with 3000 and 5000, because it's basically so fine, it's just taking any possible sand scratches out. So I've gone over this several times lightly with that 3000, And if you look really close, it looks like there's not much left as far as sand scratches. And now I'm going to go ahead and start with the 5,000. And we'll see how it looks. Alright, I just finished with the 5,000. And it actually, you can kind of see a hint of a shine there. I got some rubbing compound, and before I even get the little buffer out, I was just curious to see if this would even do anything by hand. I have to get the buffer out, I don't know. We'll see. Just do a little rubbing on it. Let's see what happens here, you know. You never know. Okay. Let's see. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Whoa. Wow. And that's just doing it by hand, and that's not with the fine stuff. That was with the coarser rubbing compound. So I do believe that the 3,000 and the 5,000 are going to save me a lot of time, and it's going to look pretty darn good. I sure wish I would have known that when I did the roof, because I had a heck of a time with that roof, getting the orange peel out of that clear. And then sand scratches and all that. But wow, I'm glad I found out that they had a 5,000. I knew they had 3, but I didn't know they had a 5. So we'll just keep going, and I'll show you the results when I get all done. I picked up this it's a little mini orbital sander, buffer, I guess we call it. It's orbital. And I picked up some of these mini buff pads. I actually cut them smaller than they actually were. And for this purpose, it seems to work pretty good. I just got to be a little more careful. But take a look at it. See if I ruined it or made it better. Not bad. A little bit more here and there, but that's looking pretty darn good. I'll just have to do down to here. I think this is where this rubber piece, I don't know if you can see that or not, but right down here. So I'm just going to take care of all that, go all the way around. We're going to call it done. Well, I got the top part done. Is it perfect? Nope. But it's already way over restored. At least when I look down, I won't see any orange peel. I haven't waxed it yet or anything, of course, but it's looking pretty good. Now I got to do the rest of this. Get that sanded down with the 3,000 and the 5. And I think the paint part of this project, of the steering column, will be done. So, no, it looks good. I probably spent an hour total this morning on that. So I'll probably spend another hour on the rest of it. We'll start putting it back together. think I'm done as far as wet sanding and buffing. Nothing like getting it out in the cloudy sunlight. Anyway, I'm very pleased with it. Not perfect. This area here, I don't really can't see it, but it's got orange peel. Not quite as shiny. That I didn't do. I just go down to that point there. But that's looking really good. So I'm gonna start putting that shaft back in and put a few things back on. I got the Prendler, I guess it is called, the Prendler. Yeah, got that on there. Put that little screw in. I just temporarily put that on so I can make sure everything worked. I got this little cover here, and I believe there's a light bulb that goes in there. I got the backup light and the neutral safety switch installed. I cannot put the horn button thing in there yet because I got to slide it over the shaft before that goes in. One thing I was missing was this little like snap-in tab to hold this plastic cover on. I stole that out of one bid. I may find it eventually, but I looked at my photos when I was taking this thing apart. This was laying on the carpet. I didn't see that laying anywhere, so it probably went flying. Probably never found it. Anyway, it's not a big deal, but I wanted to make sure it got on here. Sure, people are asking me, what are you doing, Ken? You can't put that stuff on until after you get the column in. I loosened the gearbox from the frame so it is dropped down for this specific reason, that I can slide this stuff in there and get everything kind of hooked up before bolting everything down again. So it's getting close. Of course, I got fingerprints over everything, but the next step will be putting this baby back in the car.